Good morning to all of you out in cyberspace. This is Reggie Smith coming to you live from East Elmhurst, Queens, New York. And this is the beginning of my video weblog to document the things that are happening in my community of East Elmhurst, Corona, Queens, New York. To those of you who don't know me, let me take the time to introduce myself. My name is Reggie Smith. I am the owner of Jewels of the Nile. It is a sales and marketing business that I've owned since 1991. And I am fortunate enough to say that I have been self-employed in a home-based business for all that time. The business actually got off to a very unique start. I actually started the business selling baked goods. I had a friend who was incarcerated in Arthur Kill Correctional Facility out on Staten Island, and he was part of a group called the Caribbean African Unity Organization. And they were allowed to do bake sales amongst each of the other inmates, and I actually prepared their baked goods for them. And I recall vividly taking rides along the West Side Highway in Staten Island to the Arthur Kill Correctional Facility, Bloomingdale Road, going through the gates and delivering my wares. And that's how my business of Jewels of the Nile got started. I then branched off. An opportunity came about in the middle 90s where New York City was sponsoring a program called the Toilet Rebate Program. And I hooked up with a licensed, approved city plumber who was doing the installation of the toilets, and he would pay me per toilet that I would get homeowners to agree to have them installed so they could eliminate their high water usage toilets with the move towards the low water consumption toilets. That business proved to be very lucrative, and it also opened up the idea of being able to get paid for a service, being able to close a deal in sales without having to collect any money from the person that you're selling to. And that was a continuing theme in the evolution of my business, where I then branched off into the energy business. Energy deregulation started out in the mid-90s, and I was right there at the start of it. Being presented with the idea of being able to offer business owners and homeowners, office buildings, the opportunity to get their energy from suppliers other than the utility, proved to be a very lucrative deal. At one point I used to have the whole Helmsley portfolio, which included the Empire State Building and several other large office buildings in Manhattan, and I was able to do well for myself and take care of my family. Anyway, Jewels of the Nile is still doing the energy business. We branched off into travel, and we are currently part of a wonderful organization I will continue to inform you about, called the Black Business Builders Club. The things that I'm going to focus on this video weblog are the things that are impacting on my community, shedding light on those areas of darkness that no one ever seems to want to speak about or address in the community. And I plan to dispel a whole lot of myths that many in our community have. They seem to have the attitude that the only money that is good to spend is that money that you make after you toil on jobs that you don't like for 40 hours a week, and then let the government rape you on your paycheck, and then you get to live on whatever they leave you with. And it's been my experience that being in a business owner position is a much better proposition, simply because when I get my money as a business owner or a property owner, one who has provided affordable housing in the community since 1992, the benefit of that is that I get my money in my hand first. Then I get an opportunity to spend my money, and then if there is anything left, I pay a tax on that which is left. And more people need to become aware of that equation and take advantage of it. Quickly, some of the current events that I want to speak about in this current weblog is one, the uproar over the things that are happening in Albany with our elected representation. State Senator Hiram Montserrat, along with one of his associates from the Bronx, decided to withdraw their support from the Democratic Party, thereby taking away their slight majority that they had in the in state government, and giving control back to the Republicans. It seems to have caused a lot of anger in the community, and I think we as a community need to call our public official into account. He may very well have a rationale or a strategy that he is attempting to employ by doing this. If so, I think he needs to make that clear to his constituents and share with us the method to his quote-unquote madness. Not that I necessarily see it as madness, but I think we do need and deserve more clarity on the issue. I reached out to some community leaders to have them try and rally a meeting. I think it's something that's very important, that we should hold our public officials' feet to the fire and make them accountable to us. Second of all, wanted to address the great debate that happened at First Baptist Church in their fellowship hall Friday evening, June 5th. We had Councilwoman Jalissa Ferreira's office in a match versus Elm Corps. The issue that they were debating was, with the election of President Obama, are we living in a post-racial society? Both groups performed well, but the winner was Ms. Daphne Sanchez from Councilwoman Jalissa Ferreira's office. She prevailed over Elm Corps. In the second debate, we had First Baptist Church competing against For the Youth, headed by Hayden Horsham. And First Baptist Church, whose pastor is Reverend Patrick Young. And the question they were debating is a college education still necessary in this day and age in order to be productive and prosperous? And First Baptist Church prevailed in that contest, arguing the point that a college education is necessary in order to be productive and prosperous. They will have a face-off later this month for the grand prize winner in the community debate. We are simply trying to impact on our children's education and not leave it strictly to the public schools, and we feel that debates is one way of doing it. Also want to address the situation of lack of economic opportunity, especially for our young people. At a recent Civic Association meeting, Helen Marshall was pressed to answer why there were no jobs for Citi Field or the opening of the Hampton Inn. And there was not much to say, which led me to say we need to explore other opportunities besides just working jobs, especially with the internet and all the opportunities that the internet has to offer. We as a community need to start exploring some of those opportunities. And one of those opportunities is the Black Business Builders Club, which I have been and will continue to promote very aggressively because it does work. Anyway, my time is up. Gotta sign off. Take care.